know if you've heard this news, but the Toronto Transit Commission, aka TTC, announcing that it will start to shame riders engaging in antisocial behavior on subway platforms over the loudspeakers. Okay? Oh, someone's saying finally.
Oh, this
finally.
so
they say, what does that mean? They say that's anyone who's vandalizing property or being aggressive toward others. And there's been a bit of a mixed reaction, although this section, we're very clear where you stand. We love that. But listen, the rest of us, what do we think? Is public shaming the solution here?
I think... I found my people right here. Because I am an absolute monster on the TTC.
You are?
I'm shaming left, right, and center.
Really?
Like I'm Oprah giving up. I can't.
Well, what are the things that are setting you off?
I mean, you know, if someone's got the backpack on, they're turning around. If someone's pushing you and rushing to get out, but you're all going in the same place, it's like, please calm down.
Yeah.
I have one, but I will say things to people directly, not too harshly, I don't think. But
that's not your style.
There was one time where there was a kid, probably 7 years old, and I see him picking his nose and lining up his boogers on the subway pole. So I'm watching this happen. I'm just horrified.
Is the parent watching?
So the dad is there, and I'm like, he's gonna say something. Doesn't say something. So I go up to the dad and I said, excuse me, your son is putting boogers on the subway pole.
What did he say?
He looked at me expressionless. So sometimes the shaming doesn't work, but I've been shamed before.
What did you get shamed for?
When I was a kid, a wee lass,
You were putting boogers on the pole.
I was. And then I was like, oh, no. And so I was with my friends, we were playing with ringtones on the phone and we were kind of trying them out. Can you imagine how annoying that is?
Yes.
So adults at the end of their workday are on the train and this guy just loses it on us, rightfully so. I learned my lesson, he was right, we were annoying, and shame sometimes does work. You gotta hand it out.
Wow.
Interesting. I mean, I definitely, as a rule, I don't like shaming. I don't like the idea of shaming. I just think it's wrong. And I can see all the ways in which this would go sideways. Having said that, I do have a story of recently something that happened on the TTC where somebody came to try to rush the doors, which I think happens on the regular, right? The doors are closed. They kind of get in like an arm, and then they force them open. And the TTC operator, the subway operator, actually got on the loudspeaker, and this was one of those days where you could hear it. It wasn't one of those rah, rah, rah. I could hear what he was saying. And he said, please, to the person wearing it, so he described this person, they weren't on my car, can you stop doing that? And then he went on to explain what happened. So apparently when you force those doors open, oftentimes it breaks the door, which is like, I didn't know that. And so then it puts the car out of service, which causes delays, which makes all of us very upset. So this wasn't so much of as a public shaming as it was a public service. So I think in that case, it was actually very helpful. I didn't know that beforehand.
First of all, great. That's a great use of that.
I like that.
My problem with this pilot platform, pilot project, is that it doesn't go far enough. So far, the TTC, Oh yeah, we want it all.
We're not the big guns.
No, it'll make sense. It'll make sense. Right now, they're saying they're only going to use this on the loudspeakers on platforms, on 2 stations for the pilot project. A lot of the worst behavior is happening in the train when you're en route. So right now, they're not shaming, and that is where you're going to get into a lot of trouble. You know those yellow strips? Every transit system probably has their own version of like an emergency something that you can pull. And so there's delays because people are using them wrongly, or maybe there's somebody who's misbehaving on the train. So I do wonder, is the platform the only place? Like, if the issues are also happening on trains, why are we not going to also do it on the trains themselves? I think it doesn't go far enough.
That's why we gotta shame each other.
Shaming platforms, even the escalators. Don't forget, you're supposed to.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Hi, I see you, I respect you. You stand right and you walk left. Nice little subtle reminders. But have you guys ever been to a city where they do have public transit and it kind of works? It's like everyone kind of, Japan, Tokyo, Seoul, Stockholm's another one. And there's some, you're right. And I wonder if some of this, that idea of the social contract, social etiquette, it's kind of baked in from a young age, and that they don't have to resort to shaming because everyone just sort of follows the rules, and there's better signage, there's better design, there's better layout, it's all there.
And you said public transit systems that actually work. You know what people, you know what? You know what makes people grumpy? You know what makes people agitated? Waiting 45 minutes for a streetcar or a bus. I'm sorry, TTC. I'm happy you're putting resources into tattletaling on people, but how about you put resources into making the subways actually come?